Hey,
Just going. Hello.
what's goody?
This is a little new.
Very, very.
You get to brush your teeth this week for this one. So, hello everybody.
Okay.
Yep, we started straight with the bullshit. So, Hello everybody. It's your host Garrett Thomas, along with my boy Alec Foster.
Yes,
we are Section.300 podcast. We want to welcome you to the show. This is our first video, so for all the new viewers, thank you all for tuning in. We're Section.300. We're real fans, talk real life. We talk about sport, talk about music, all the great things that happen throughout the week, and we come here and we have great dialogue about that. So, I welcome you all to the show. And now let's get to the bullshit. Me and Alec are big Lakers fans. Like Alec, get that purple and gold on right now.
Yes,
and us being the fans, we're going to start there and talk about some of the things that are going on with our team right now. So
no doubt, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So we just added Dwight Howard to the roster. I'm still feeling the way about that shit. Honestly, I'm not.
Get out your feelings, bro. It's all right.
We talked about it before, and here's the thing. I have no attachment to this new Laker team. Mm-hmm. Like the teams we had before in the past, the Kobe squad, as you rock Kobe on your chest, all those squads before, I felt some kind of attachment that was beyond just the purple and gold to make me like this team.
I'm with you there.
Going even up to the trash squads, the Xavier Henry, Robert Sacre squads, and then going on to D'Lo and Jordan Clarkson, and then to this last squad with Lonzo and all of them. Having guys at least being drafted into the Lake organization and all of that, it gave us some kind of attachment and watching them grow into the stars that we believe them to be. Right. But as they move on, and now we have LeBron and this AD and this new squad of guys, they all kind of feel like mercenaries that just happen to be wearing our jersey. Like I don't feel any attachment to them. So now adding Dwight to that mix, I did not like Dwight the first go around. Go around with Kobe, he was soft and all of that, and things didn't work out. And now he's back getting a second opportunity because Boogie's out with his situations. And it's like I want to be mad, and I was mad. If you just go back to our last episode, I definitely had my frustrations. But at the same time, having no real connection to this squad anyways, it's like, fuck it. Just give them a chance, and let's see how it goes. So what do you think about the Lakers squad heading into the season? We're a few months out.
Yeah, I definitely echo your sentiment as far as kind of feeling like mercenaries just in Laker uniforms. It's like I feel like that's kind of just a product of LeBron coming, because like when LeBron comes, you have to shape the franchise around him, and he's like we joke about him being the GM. Like he needs his coaching staff who he wants, he needs his role players who he wants, he needs his buddies, he needs the clutch guys. So I feel like that's why it kind of feels like inauthentic as a Lakers squad. Like you said, like I don't really feel a connection to any of the players minus like Kuzma, because he's one of the guys we drafted and who survived the AD trade. So it's a little bit of a different feeling, and it's hard too. Because like I've been saying to you off air, like I'm gonna be rooting for the Pelicans. I want to see them do well this season because some of them are my young guys.
Listen. That is totally fine, but the only problem I have with you is that when I went and was following D'Lo around, and I'm following him to the Nets and following to the Warriors, you and Matt and all the other guys tried to kill me for that. And y'all said I was a fake ass fan and all that.
Now
things are flipped, and you see how you stick with your guys even though they aren't on their team no more. So I'm gonna let you be a fan of the Pelicans. You can be a fan of the Pelicans. I'm just saying if that's the case, I could follow D'Lo around. I could follow Jordan Clarkson, all those other guys that used to be on the Lakers. I can still follow them around and support them even though they're not in the purple and gold.
That's fine, but you can't be a fan of like 5 different teams at the same time. Like that's all I was saying.
I'm a fan of the Lakers, but I do also follow players around and support the players as they go. I'm not a fan of no other team, but I will root for a player as they bounce around.
But then you can't like switch allegiances when they played each other or like they're playing someone else. Like
as long as they're not.
That's why we put out that list of like who we're following for 2019.
As long as they're not playing the Lakers, I'll root for them. As soon as they play against the purple and gold, I'm off that. I'm rooting for my team. But when they play the other 28 teams or whatever in the NBA, I'm going to root for them. So that's what it is. And as we talk about all those guys and we talk about the addition of Dwight Howard, as I said before, he was added because DeMarcus Cousins went out with his torn ACL earlier this year. And that was devastating enough in itself. And then we get this news of the possible domestic violence or whatever this situation is that's going on alongside that. And to be honest, I don't really want to talk too much about that. I feel like that's a lot more personal. That's a lot more for him to handle and for him to figure out than for us to discuss. We can talk about the ACL and him being out and how that affects the basketball. I just brought that part up because he is facing that, and as a fan of his, it hurts to see. I don't know what the situation is, but it sucks because he's definitely one of those guys who I was a fan of, regardless of what jersey he was in. So
it's like his world is crumbling down all of a sudden.
Honestly, the last 3-4 years, season ending injuries, all of that having going on, and then we have this on top of that. So it's going to be hard for him. He was already struggling to find squads. He barely got that opportunity with the Warriors last year, and then barely got this one as well with the Lakers. So I don't know where he goes next. I hope he can get his body right. I hope he can get his mind right. I hope he can get all his situations in order, because where he's at right now, I hate to see. So, best wishes to him and all of that's going on with him. So.
Definitely. And I was going to say about Dwight, like I kind of said last podcast, like I've already embraced having him back. I think it's a new era. It's not the same 2012 Lakers with Kobe, like you said. Like
right.
And if he doesn't act right, if he doesn't step up to the plate, like we can just release him and there's no penalty. So
that helps. I ain't gonna lie, that helps. He signs a real good contract, non-guaranteed deal, where if the Lakers feel like he's not doing his job and he's being more of a problem than a solution to things going on, they can dip and not have too many penalties. So
so he's got
being on a good deal.
Balls in his court. Balls in his court for sure. He's got the thing to prove. So
definitely. So as Laker fans, I definitely hope it all works out. If we end up going all the way, it's gonna be awkward seeing Dwight with the ring. But if he's in the Brooklyn Gold, I'll take it. So looking forward to the NBA season. And going back again to Boogie, last year on the Warriors, he was hoping to join that squad. That was the super team. And one of the major factors of that being a super team was Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant has gone on to the Nets, and we saw the ripple effects that caused. And alongside that, someone, LeJethro Jenkins, who works for Yahoo, came with this article talking about how he feels like we did not enjoy Kevin Durant in the moment. How he felt like we didn't realize his greatness and what he really meant to us until it was too late. And once he finally went down in the finals again and had that torn Achilles, that's when the world was like, this dude just wants the ball. We hate to see this. And though he's on the Warriors, it's like, this is a great basketball player, one of the all-time greats. And for those that hate on his move, they may have turned a blind eye to the success, to the greatness that he was put on the court. So how you feel about Kevin Durant and his whole situation? Yeah,
we talked a little bit about this. I think, me personally, like, I'm able to separate like the basketball and like the personal decisions, because like I still saw him as top 3, arguably best player in the league the past 2 years. So like his decision, while I hated it, while I thought it was a really soft move to join the Warriors at the time he did, I still was able to see the greatness, like the efficiency, like he's a killer on the court.
Definitely.
Like nothing basketball wise changed for him. I think maybe some people were blinded by the move, and I could only say it affected my perception of him as a competitor, because I thought to go to a team that's won a championship without you, just win 73-9, I thought that was a weak move competitively, and kind of ruined the competition in the NBA. So that's kind of how it affected me.
I get that, and there were a lot of people that felt the same way. Stephen A. famously said that was the weakest move he's ever seen in the NBA, and many people echo those sentiments. So in a way, I get why you guys feel that way. Like you say, it was right after the 73-9 season, and he had just lost to them 3-1, and blew that 3-1 lead and all that to them. Yep. So even switch sides, it felt away. But for me, the league has always been a kind of dominant, a top dominant team. We always kind of have teams that are the league's always been top heavy. There's always those 1 or 2 teams that kind of break away from the pack and have that greatness that we saw from the Warriors before KD, and then with KD we saw it taken to another level. So when KD joined that squad, I was like, I want to enjoy this moment, enjoy this great team, Plus, in the past, we've seen all the great teams fall apart. We know these teams usually don't last very long. There's always going to be something that breaks them apart. Someone's ego gets too big. Something gets in somebody's head. KD was someone who liked social media and things, and social media constantly was going at him. And I think that played a part into why he felt like he had to step away from the Warriors. So believing from the jump that this team probably wasn't going to be around long, I was like, for however long they're going to stay together, let me enjoy this ride. It's going to be this is a real good squad. They have all these all-time greats. They have all these all-stars on their squad. I'm going to enjoy it. It may be dominant. It may ruin the competition of the league, but I'm enjoying them for what they are for right now. So I love them then, and I love what the league is now as well. So I'm not one of those people like what Jethro mentioned that felt like they missed out on KD's greatness because of the jersey he was wearing. So I definitely appreciated him. So that was something I was heavy in discussion. I saw his article go or make his rounds on ESPN and other places. Jethro is someone I've been following for a little while, and he's now working with Yahoo, I believe, and that's where that article was posted. So check that one out. And with that, that's all I really have with the NBA. I know today. Usually we post our episodes every Monday, so definitely check all those episodes out. Today we're recording a day early. Today's a Saturday. 2 days early now. Today's a Saturday, and to start college football season, all the big games, everyone's now playing, and I'm excited to see all of that. There were some good games this morning. There's some good games going on now. As I turn and look to the TV that I have to the side of me, Auburn and Oregon are playing right now. It's 14-3. Oregon's up, and they got a lot of good games going on. So football is back. College football is back. Are you a big college football fan?
Not a huge college football fan, just because it was kind of like how the NBA has been the last couple of years. Like, it's just been two teams at the top fighting it out.
Right.
Alabama and Clemson the past 3-4 years. At least one of those teams has been in the college football championship. So it's almost been like a foregone conclusion. And I don't really enjoy a sport like that when I don't see multiple teams, I guess, that have a chance at it. Mm-hmm. Also, it hurts that Arizona hasn't been good for a while. That's my school. That's my squad.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, quick note for those that are new to the show. Me and Alec both went to the University of Arizona, so we got a lot of ties to them. So that's definitely one of the teams we constantly follow during the season. So yeah, I'm with you. It hurt last. We talked about it a couple of days ago, or last week, I believe, when they played against Hawaii, about how that rough loss start the season was a mess. So definitely hope they turn that shit around, because I'd love to see a great Arizona team soon. So I'm with you.
Yeah. What about you? You pretty into college football, or
I'm a football junkie. I can't lie. We'll talk about it later. Though I'm not the best at the fantasy shit, I will say watching the real thing I enjoy a lot. So whether it's high school football, college football, NFL, XFL, AAF, all that shit, I'm tuned in. So yeah, I've been really enjoying. I'm happy that we're finally here and getting to enjoy some good football. So I was definitely in front of my TV all day long, saw some good games. Tennessee, who was supposed to be at least a decent team, lost to Georgia State or something like that. I forgot, Georgia something. And that was a big upset. So yeah, good games, good upsets already happening. Good games, things are getting underway. So definitely excited for this college football season.
Okay.
That's really all I have for now. Season's just getting underway. But flipping to the pros, the NFL is about to start soon. Me and you have a fantasy football league. For those that are also fans of us and want to be involved with another league as well, hit us up. We're looking to get one with all our fans involved as well. So hit us up for that. We'd love to get that done this week. So definitely reach out to all of us. Reach us on IG at Section.300 or Twitter at Section.300 Pod for either of those, and reach us out for info on the fantasy league. So definitely stay tuned for that. And me and you have one with our friends, and we're about to get that underway. And there's been some moves in the last couple of days. I don't know if you know the NFL. There's been the rosters of the preseason is now over. They're starting to cut down rosters, and at the same time, trades have been made. And one of the bigger trades was Houston shipped Jadeveon Clowney to Seattle. For a third-round pick, as well as somebody else. I don't have the full details. But
two other players, you wouldn't know their names. But
So does that affect what you think that how you think that plays for Seattle? You think that's a major win for them?
I think so. I think the Legion of Boom, I think that's what they called their defense, had taken a hit a little bit. I forget who got injured last year. It was a major one.
Eric Not Eric. Fuck.
No.
What's that nigga's name?
Earl
Thomas. He's on the Ravens now. Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, that was a big
he got
loss.
hurt.
That was a big loss for them last year. I know the Legion of Boom has taken a couple of hits, so it's definitely.
I think the only one left is Bobby Wagner,
okay,
middle linebacker. So yeah, the whole squad that whole Legion of Boom era is over with for the most part.
Yeah,
so they're trying to restart a new one.
Definitely helps. They don't have Cam Chancellor anymore either.
I'm pretty sure he retired.
Okay,
or he's hurt. Yeah.
So it definitely helps to get a talent like Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, him and JJ Watt on the D line and Houston was a force. So I think I don't know what their secondary is looking like in Seattle because I don't follow Seattle Seahawks that closely specifically, but getting a player like that, he's a generational talent. So I think that definitely helps their defense. On Houston side, I don't quite understand the move.
That move in itself didn't fully make sense to me, but they also made a trade following that where they got Laramie Tunsil from Miami as well as Kenny Stills for first round picks and things. So I believe they might have used one of the picks from the Jadeveon trade to help with this other one as well.
Okay.
So if it was one trade to lead to another, I think that works out well. We just saw with Andrew Luck retiring that you need to bolster up that line. Larry Tunsil is a good young guard coming up in the league, so wanted to bolster that interior line, the interior lineman. Wanted to do that to help protect Deshaun Watson is vital because Deshaun definitely is one of the better young quarterback talents in the league, and you want to keep him protected. So that's the move that they did, and with them in tandem, it makes sense. When the Jaden Kanye deal was announced just in itself, I was confused like you were, but seeing how it all has played out, I like what Houston has done. I think did. Oh, go for it. No, go ahead. I
did think I saw too that Houston traded for Carlos Hyde because Lamar Miller tore his ACL.
Right.
And I think they just acquired Carlos Hyde. I
believe they did as well. Yeah.
So that was another move too. They're trying to fill out the roster because losing. I think Lamar Miller was probably number one on their depth chart at running back. So
yeah,
they have like Duke Johnson too, but getting Carlos Hyde definitely like shores up the backfield.
Definitely. So that was a good pickup. They again, like you said, they need to bolster up those running backs, and they got a good one with Carlos Hyde, who's been bounced around the league a little bit, but definitely still solid. Someone else, speaking of running back, someone else who got that was brought up in these last couple of days as roster got cut down is LaShawn McCoy. Out of nowhere, he got cut by Buffalo. Right. So there's rumors of him going to the Chargers as they're trying to figure out their Melvin Gordon situation. There's rumors of him going back to the Eagles. There's rumors of him going to the goddamn Patriots. I swear to God. Listen, I'm a big Baltimore Ravens fan, and every year the Patriots find a way to get in the way. If they can just not get any more help, that would be beautiful. So please don't let them get LaShawn McCoy. They already have James White. They already have other Sonny Michel. They have running backs. Don't make them a three-headed monster back there. I don't need that. Please.
Belichick he figures it out every year.
Honestly, every year they find a way. So I hope that does not happen. But LaShawn McCoy is available and could be picked up by anybody. So we shall see. So he's one of those guys that we talked about fantasy for a while. He was one of those top fantasy guys, and now he appears to be falling way off. So I hope he still has his legs under him and still has some years left to produce. And I hope the best for him as long as it's not in New England. So definitely shall see about that.
Don't forget the Russell Wilson tweet about getting Jadeveon Clowney.
I didn't see that. What was the tweet?
And didn't I send you that? It was like corny as hell. He was like. Wait, I gotta find this because it was super corny, bro.
Oh man, we all know Russell Wilson is corny, so I'm already prepared for this to be some real bullshit. Like, all
right, here it is.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Me, so you telling me you're not chasing me anymore?" Jadeveon Clowney, nah, bro. All other quarterbacks. Me, okay, we're cool with the little eyeglass emoji. Welcome to the squad, bro.
God damn it, Russ, man.
This get a cornball, bro.
He really is. Like I don't get it, but he's good, man. He's gonna be real good for a long while. He still finds ways to produce. So as corny as he may be, when you can ball, you can be as corny as you want. So be it. I think that that helps that whole squad. Again, like we talked about before, Jadeveon Clowney definitely is a big add. So looking for, I think that Seattle could be a sleeper squad. I used it before, they kind of fell off because of Legion of Boom falling apart. Right. But they have good guys across the board now, both offense and defense. So they can still be in contention, be surprising people. So looking forward to the NFL season, looking forward to fantasy football and all that stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Looking forward to spanking you week 1.
Oh my God! Listen, I'm not doing that. But that I was bad last year, had a rough season, but we're gonna bounce back this year. I'm gonna stay quiet, let my players do the talking for me. I'm gonna stay real low.
You learned your
lesson. When I win,
you learned your lesson.
Y'all will know. So that's all the stuff that's regarding on the field. But there's a lot of stuff going on the opposite side as well. And there's been a lot of debates going on about the situation now with the NFL and Kaepernick and JayZ. And we talked last week about waiting for the information to come out. And we've got some more of the information. And I'm confused. Just say it. Bro, listen, bro. Listen, bro. Hold on. They calling this shit woke aware, bro.
That was funny. I did see that on Twitter.
God damn it, bro. So JayZ, I guess details of the JayZ deal that and his partnership with the NFL has come out, and his partnership is going to be helping with them with the entertainment side, as well as, I guess, how they describe it, some kind of apparel. I guess that social justice apparel. Like they think that the clothing is going to do that. Like Kaepernick has already been donating his own clothes to homeless and donating his suits to veterans, I believe, and things of that nature. Kaepernick has already been someone who's been using clothing and things of that nature to help, but it's not been like profiting him. Like he's been giving up his own shoes, his own closet of stuff, and all that kind of thing. Right. So for the NFL and JayZ to jump at this, and for them to just make it a way they can profit off of it, rather than it to be real activism. Like there's going to be some kind of big social justice performance, some kind of shit like that. They got Meghan Trainor and Meek Mill and all these people coming together, Rapsody, which it sucks because we're going to talk about music later. And I think this is a big spot for Rapsody because I loved her album. And I talked about it so much last week amongst my friends, I forgot to mention it on the show. Like I talked about it so much that I thought we already discussed it. But that's definitely an album that I thoroughly enjoy. And for her to be getting her shine now, though some people are saying she's not, whatever, for her to be getting a spotlight like this that JayZ is giving her, while it is great, I feel like it's not the right thing. Like I feel like JayZ turned this whole thing into a profit. Like he went for the money grab. Like this does not seem like it's a continuation. This is not what the next step of Kaepernick's protest was supposed to be. It was not supposed to be
what was the next step supposed to be?
That I have to do research in, but I don't believe his goal was to kneel, bring attention, and then sell clothes and have a concert and say, okay, we're done. I think he wanted, like we talked about before, about how the NFL has many players that have those backgrounds that are being affected. So Kaepernick wanted to have the NFL, since that's where he worked for so long, wanting them to, with the power that they have, to help step in some kind of way, have some true form of social justice, some type of activism, some type of way where they're giving back to communities and helping communities where all these players come from. He wanted things to go back in that fashion. But it seems like this next step that JayZ did just feeds back into the NFL and makes the NFL look good rather than actually serving the purpose that Kaepernick wanted it to serve. So people are starting to shit on JayZ for this move. He's looking a little funny in the light now that we have the full details. And yeah, I'm gonna read up more and have a more concise answer for you next episode. But for now, just the glimpses that I've seen, I'm real shaky on what JayZ is doing with the whole situation. So how are you feeling about it all?
I was gonna ask you real quick. Are you kind of just feeling like it's like he made like a capitalistic move? It's just
it definitely seems like this seems like some type of money grab type shit. Like it definitely seems like something to help promote Rock Nation and JayZ and all that kind of shit. Like it didn't seem like it was truly following in the footsteps of what Kaepernick intended it to be. So yeah.
Like Roger Goodell was like, get the niggers to stop kneeling, and
basically
we got a deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I still am cautious because I guess not everything has been like put out as far as what this agreement between Rock Nation and the NFL is going to be. But that first news that we heard about Meghan Trainor and Rapsody and whoever performing, and then the clothing, like that doesn't sound like change to me at all.
Exactly.
It just sounds like sprinkling social justice on top, kind of. So like,
here, niggers, take that.
Exactly.
they'll like that shit. Take that. It's
Like,
no, that's not how we rolling with that. So
yeah.
Yeah, I hope that we start hearing more from Kaepernick. Like he posted something the other day that seemed like it was a sub to JayZ and all the stuff that's going on. And that's something that I brought before, where as much as I caught the sub and all of that, I get the little shade he's throwing. I got to hear direct quotes from the man. Like I definitely want to support you. I feel like now seeing more details come out, I feel like JayZ took this the wrong way a little bit. I want to hear from the man that I want to follow in this. So wanted to hear more from him and what he really wants for him to this to go. I believe he actually had he just did an article with Paper Magazine, I believe, where he did explain at least somewhat what his Know Your Rights campaign, all that is doing. But we still, Kaepernick did. But I'm saying if you didn't know about that and you're trying to find Kaepernick somewhere, you feel like he's been silent for most of this time.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I don't know if I'm oblivious, but I'd like to hear more from him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Even though he did the magazine and things, I still like to hear, like, see his face, see him talk, and really address everything that's been going on for this whole while. That
like everyone was like behind him, like I'm with Cap kind of thing, and then I feel like we don't hear from him that much. Besides the huge Nike campaign when that came out, and then after that, it didn't even seem like Nike did more than just that little campaign they put out, that commercial or whatever. So
here's a spotlight, we're with you, and that's it. Like I think they're definitely doing stuff behind the scenes. Kaepernick isn't going to let them market off for him and leave it alone. He's probably doing a lot more. I believe he signed a deal or something like that with Nike. So that's they definitely got stuff going on. But just from a public view, a fan view of us just looking around, like what's the deal? It's hard to see how he feels. So I hope we get more from him. So looking forward to hearing from him. It's interesting to see how that all is going down. People are trying to talk about cancel JayZ. I told you before, bro. Watch the Throne 2 is gonna be crazy. The MAGA Kanye bars.
It seems like they're on a similar wavelength now.
I'm telling you, Watch the Throne 2 on the way. I know Kanye just announced another album, but we might get Watch the Throne 2 soon. Looking forward to that.
What would happen if JayZ put on the MAGA hat, bro?
Oh, the world would explode.
That'd be wild.
That'd be the craziest twist.
Twitter would be
because Jay like he distanced himself from Kanye.
He's like the woke nigga. So
like he was supposed to be the anti Kanye, like the flip side of what Kanye thought he was doing.
Right.
And for him to end up in the same spot, nah, bro, that'd be wild, bro. That's something that I never want to see. I don't want not even a Photoshop, nothing. Don't show me nothing.
That'd be a whole new level of nastiness.
Yeah, I don't even want to see that. So I do hope that JayZ, again, like you said, while there were details about the clothing and the performances and things that came out, I hope that this is not the end of JayZ's deal. I hope that there's more that will make more sense than what we see right now. Because there are a lot of people that are not happy, and we're in this cancel culture era where people are trying to cancel JayZ and all of that. I'm not going that far, but I am disappointed.
Neither of us are about the cancel thing, but we'd like to see some progressive change. So
definitely. And before we go on to the music and things, talking about this cancel culture, someone that addressed that head on this last week was Dave Chappelle. He dropped his new stand-up on Netflix, Sticks and Stones, and I have not seen it in totality. Usually we record on Sundays and then post on Monday, but we record on Saturday today. I was going to watch it today, but we had to get this episode to y'all. But I haven't got to it yet. But
someone told you the Netflix password?
Somebody got slightly a password, definitely. Like to second check that out. But just from the clips that I've seen, I went on Facebook for the first time in a while, and there was a whole bunch of clips on there. So I did see a lot of the major talking points. But for you that saw it all, what did you feel about the whole stand-up?
I loved it. I mean, he came out of the gates back on his bullshit like Dave Chappelle does. I mean, he's not afraid to say what's on his mind, what he feels. Like he has to remind the crowd, like it's jokes.
Right.
Like, I'm just up here talking. Like you don't have to take everything so seriously. Like he came out with like an Anthony Bourdain joke, which I don't know if you know who he is, but
yeah, I do.
Okay. So you could tell like he was, like you said, like attacking the cancel culture. You could tell he was coming to with a little bit more abrasive type jokes.
For sure.
But I mean they were poignant too. I mean he had a reference about the opioid crisis and telling them to just say no, just like they said to the black people with the cocaine crisis, that kind of thing. So it's always like a social commentary. There's always some history in his jokes. He's always telling a story, and it almost always lands. Like the audience was loving it, and people, like he even said in the special, like for you guys that are hating or trying to write your think pieces right now, like you clicked on my face. Like you didn't have to watch it if you didn't want to.
Right.
She's like, if you watch it on Netflix, remember you clicked my face. So like he knows the social climate and the cancel culture that's going on right now, but he doesn't care about that. He's still his authentic self, and I think he's still my favorite comedian I've ever watched. So it was another great special from him for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've definitely seen the cancel culture people and all that trying to get him out of here, but yeah, that's not the side I'm on. So I'm gonna check it out and get formally an opinion for myself. But
definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to see how that plays out. There was that first wave as soon as it came out with all the critics trying to shit on it and say, "Oh, you can't say that, you can't say that." But it's like he's, I guess, like you said, that Dave said, he's like, if you click my face, you chose to watch this, you know who I am, you know what I've said in the past, you kind of know what I'm going to say going into the future as well. So for them to click on his face and know what to expect and then still be mad, it's just like, that's on you. So people got to learn. Something we talked about a while ago is about feeding your energy and all that type of things. And if you know there's something that you're not going to like, it's like, why even bother clicking and putting that into your spirit? So I don't get it, but they're supposed to do that and they have the reaction that they have. But I've heard from others, I've heard a lot of good things and definitely want to check that out because from the clips that I've seen, it looks really good. So looking forward to that. Yeah. I'm definitely excited about all of that.
You've been watching any of the other new drops on Netflix, like Mindhunter, or you said you're not into 13 Reasons, right?
Yeah, I haven't gone back to that one. Yeah, I've been out of the loop on Netflix. I've been watching a lot of HBO stuff. The Righteous Gemstones on there. That's just hilarious to me, bro.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. It's the mockery of the church in a way where they got the pastors doing all kinds of shady shit behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Money grabbing
and scandalous and all of that. But they do it. This is comedy. Definitely dramatization, but comedy and all of that, and it's funny to watch. The Succession is another really good show that I've been tuned into as well. It's about this father, head of a company, has his children who want to be the next leaders of the company and all of that. They had scares and he possibly almost died and things, but bounced back and is now trying to reclaim the throne of the company and run it how he wants to run it. But the young ones who are going to be the succession of the company are trying to figure out how to maneuver themselves. So it's just definitely good to watch. I like shows like that. Still active right now. We're on season 2, and really excited about new episodes that drop with that. So that's what I'm watching on TV. Besides the sports things that are getting underway, and definitely enjoying all of that. Going back to the NFL actually, and kind of sticking with this kind of cancel thing. People in their agendas. Someone who thought there was an agenda going on this last week was Larry Johnson, former NFL running back, played for the Chiefs for a long while. He came out this last week and went on this wild Twitter rant talking about how the NBA and NFL are trying to push the gay agenda and how they just had Brian Russell, who just came out, and having more and more players come out with their sexuality, as well as they had also a bunch of dumb shit he said, which is like the NBA promoting the 3-point shooting, as well as their fashion show before games, as all how they're trying to demasculate, however the word is, trying to push forward the emasculating men and trying to push the gay agenda or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said himself that he would. He said himself. Listen, he said himself that he believes he has CTE. And he kind of proved himself. So I'm just gonna take his word on that because all that shit didn't make any kind of sense.
We just gonna leave it. We just gonna leave it right there. That's all I needed to hear.
He said himself, CTE. Like it is what it is. Like
blame it on the CTE.
Blame it on the CTE.
That's gotta be a song or a documentary or something. I don't know.
Oh man,
we gotta get the rights to that title.
Put your phone down. Some things you don't need to tweet. Like, I don't know what his thought was. It went a long ass rant too. Just like, no, like think first. Like, how does that make any kind of sense? Just no. So, yeah, man, check up on your friends. Check up on your on all that because you got people tweeting like that. They not making no kind of sense.
Yeah.
Flipping though, we'll stick right back with the NFL thing.
Okay.
Something that's interesting that I saw, we just talked about how rosters were cut and they're trying to figure out things. And there are a lot of teams that, while they do have their 53 and while they're set, teams are still trying to figure out their rosters at the same time. Right. And a name that got brought up, who's not in the NFL right now, but could be and could break a barrier in doing so, is Carly Lloyd, who played for the USA soccer team and things. Right. And she said she's strongly considering trying to go out and be a kicker in the NFL. She went out, I believe it was a week ago, and it might have been with the Ravens. Was it with the Ravens? It was with somebody. I forgot where she went. But she went somewhere and was kicking balls for somebody. They going against one of their kickers. And she went like 53 yards deep and hit one. And eyes kind of lit up, and they were like, hey, she can kick football. Like, we all definitely know she can kick a soccer ball, but she can kick a football real well down the line too. Okay. And there's a few teams, the Bears most notably, who need kickers and have their own competition and things. And if she says I want to play, she could be a real good option. I think she'll get the job done. Yeah. She is someone who has faced the biggest stages playing for the USA team, so handling the pressure isn't a problem. Right. I think the biggest adjustment is just the pads and possibly a little bit of contact if somebody even gets close to her. So, do you think she deserves a shot?
Definitely. I mean, I don't see any reason why not. I don't think there's a rule against women in the NFL that just haven't been to this point. I mean, it's a brutal sport, so you likely wouldn't see a woman playing like a skill position in the NFL. Right. But kicker is definitely something that seems possible. And with an elite soccer player like that, she's got legs. So that would be dope to see. I mean, it will be a huge moment too, and that's a pressure position. So there might be a little bit of jitters the first few times, like she goes to kick or whatever, but I think she would definitely be capable. She got the talent.
What you brought up about the jitters is why I don't think it'll happen this year. I think that if anything, it'll be great for her to sign in the preseason next year, get some games where you're on the field, you're with the contact, the lights are on, you get to kick and see how that goes. Right. But if you were to throw her in game one, or line
that'd be tough for
game's actually on the line. Yeah, that's amazing for anybody. So while, like I said before, she could probably handle the pressure, just being a new kicker like her, she has no NFL kicking experience before that. So not wanting to throw her into the fire just like that immediately. I'd rather watch her in the preseason, something like that first, and then go from there.
Get her feet wet first.
Definitely. Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully we get that next year or sometime in the future. I definitely think that women, at least in kicking, at least can hold their own on the field. So looking forward to all of that. And where you want to go from here with all these things that we've been talking about?
What else we got?
We might have touched it all, honestly.
Pretty much most of it. Oh, we didn't talk about how Dwight's wearing that nasty number too, but
I was trying to ignore that because listen, I know I said I'm giving him chances, but he's got the 3-strike rule applying to him. So strike one, for those that did not see, he posted a workout. He's been posting workouts and things like every NBA player does. And I'm 99% sure he's playing around. But he did this like between the leg, step back three, like a few times in the drill for a workout.
Right.
And that was strike one. Listen, Dwight, Dwight, if your ass comes back shooting threes, I was like, oh my God. We don't need that.
The league is changing, bro.
We have Anthony Davis, we have LeBron, we have Kuzma. Stay your ass in the paint. You tried to tell me before how he's a walking 10 and 10.
Yeah,
he sticks with that by staying in the paint.
Yep.
I don't want to see his ass trying to do crossovers on the 3-point line. That's not your game. Stay in your lane. I'm getting out in my LeVar shit. Stay in your lane, Dwight. So that was strike one. Strike two, as you mentioned, why the fuck is this man wearing 39? That's the nastiest number ever for an NBA player.
3 + 9 is equal to 12.
Bro, no. That's not the reason.
That's a nasty number.
That's not the reason.
A nasty number.
That can't be the reason. You could have came up with any other reason. There couldn't have been anything else you did. All the numbers that are possible. You chose 39, bro.
Well, the Lakers have a lot of retired numbers, so
I get that, but there's still a lot. You could have stole Jared Dudley's number again. You could have stole 10 or whatever number Jared Dudley's wearing right now. Jared Dudley's got his number stole like 4 times. Still his number again.
Why are we doing my man Dudley like that?
Because you shouldn't be here, but that's another discussion for another day. But anyways,
Royce White.
I don't want to go here right now. I really don't want to do this again. We've already discussed this enough. Just listen. No. But Dwight could took his number, any other number, but chose 39. So just looking at that, plus his little grades shit, is going to be a distraction. So that's already strike 2 for me. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the season. Hopefully Lakers on the same schedule and we get that 3rd strike and get them out of here. But
you be a tough GM.
We shall see.
I've already had 2 strikes for you?
For Dwight, yes. I'm being real tough because we don't need none of that soft shit over here right now. We definitely don't need that. So still hoping for the best for the Lakers in general and hope we get that all figured out.
We didn't talk about NFL-wise. The Dolphins chose Ryan Fitzpatrick over Josh Rosen for the week 1 start.
I saw it as soon as that's what I thought. As soon as he got traded there, I'm like, the Dolphins already aren't good. They're already in a taking position. Right. So he's not going to go there and change their whole plan. Like one guy can't do that in the NFL. Basketball, maybe. NFL, you're not going to go there and change their whole plan. Right. So he went from Arizona, where he got his spot taken by Kyler Murray, who went number 1, and then got traded to the next worst team, the Miami Dolphins, who are going to be in the same spot that Arizona was last year. So he's going to, if he even plays, like we just said, Ryan Fitzpatrick took his starting for the Dolphins week 1 against my Ravens. Thanks for the early dub. For Josh Rosen to be stuck in the same spot again, he could end up getting traded again as the season progresses because the Dolphins are not going to be trying to win games. They already traded their talent with Larry Tunsil and Kenny Stills. They're pretty much clearing out and waiting for Tua Tagovailoa or Trevor Lawrence or whichever one of these young up-and-coming superstar quarterbacks is going to be in the next draft. So Josh Rosen stuck yet again. I don't know what it is. I think he has talent, but there's definitely other things going on where people don't fully like him as a starter. So he's your UCLA boy. How you feeling?
That's my nigga. I hated it had to be him, bro. I hated it had to be him. Bro, like, because we went to school together, too, at Chadwick from, like, 6th to 8th grade before he went to Bosco, so.
Are you cool with him?
Yeah.
Get him on the show, bro. Let's talk to him. Let's figure this out, Josh. Let's talk about it. Let's get you right.
We got to hit him up, but.
Definitely.
I hate that because he's a talented quarterback, I think, still. Like, he's a really good pocket passer. He's not quite as mobile as he once was. But I think he's got intangibles, too. It's hard to succeed when you're in a bad system. Like we were kind of talking about with Andrew Luck, too. Right. Like with the Colts. And that, like, it's hard, like, because like you said, one man can't change really the team in the NFL. Maybe in the NBA, but with football, you need a squad. So I hope he can get an opportunity to shine and just like let the reins go and just let him cook, get him a couple weapons. But right now, Fitzpatrick gets chosen over you, like
that hurts. That's rough, bro. That's rough. We're going through the cycle again, bro. We're going through the cycle again. Fitzmagic has his cycle where he has that Fitzmagic for the first couple of weeks of the year. Then he starts trailing off. and he's trash, gets cut or something like that. But then somebody else's quarterback goes down, he gets signed, comes on an extension, gets paid, and we're back at it again. So we're in the next part of that cycle where he's starting to get again, and we're gonna see how it goes.
Fitzmagic is back.
I will say though that with him being in the league for so long, while he's not a top tier talent, he knows the game enough that if Josh is willing to listen, he could help his game a little bit. When you have guys that are in the league that long, they're not there by accident. They know something about the game. So you can definitely learn something from him, though I do think that Josh is more talented. But, I do hope for the best, even though I'm a USC guy aliside Arizona. I do hope that Josh figures it out because I definitely saw his talent. I remember seeing him, in high school, we had Bosco and things, and definitely knew his talent then and see where he's gone since then. While it was definitely on a great trajectory at the start, it's been shaky so far. So I hope he evens back out and gets back on track. So, I hope it all works out for him, and we shall see.
Definitely. Got to stay away from the booger sugar in Miami too.
Oh man, stay.
Don't hit up Johnny Manziel. Whatever you do, don't talk to Johnny Manziel.
Stay at home. Honestly, when you got your career on the line, just stay at home. Don't need no kind of drama. Don't need no breaking news. Nothing. Just stay in the books. Yep. So excited for the NFL, excited for NBA, excited for college football, excited for things, all the fantasy things. They'll be excited about everything. Last thing I want to talk about, something that I'm very passionate about myself. Section.300. When we bring up that name, we talked about how when we go to games or shows, and when we go to shows, we're seeing music artists, and the real fans sit up top, and that's our name, Section.300. But going back to the shows and seeing artists, music is something I'm very passionate about. You guys see the vinyls I have in the background, Kendrick and Biggie and Kanye and all those people. Very passionate about music. And if you follow us,
we didn't talk about Kanye.
We'll get there. That was something I was going to get to. Okay. And so another thing I want to talk about as well. Something I brought up earlier was Rapsody and her album. Again, I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to say it again. That Eve album she dropped is really good. But I believe it might not be. I would say actually it's right on par with Layla's Wisdom that she dropped a couple years ago. Really good project that Kendrick was on and other things. Real good project then and real good project now. Eve that she just dropped. It's themed for Black women, and she's definitely showed out for them. All the tracks are named after Black women, and she had throughout the album, she has a whole bunch of great things talking about them and their strength and courage and all their story. If you feel that through her bars on that project. So also something that is important to me is the story can be great, but if the music is trash, like I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So this is another project where not only is the message. For your eyes only. Right. So wait, no, stop. That's not, I'm not agreeing with that. I like For Your Eyes Only. I might be one of the few.
The story was great. The music was trash.
Stop. Can I give Rapsody her moment, please? I was trying to say, I like albums that not only have the message, but have the music to back it up. And this is definitely one of those projects where not only do you see it and understand the message that she's trying to push, but you listen to it and you enjoy the project as well. Definitely a good project. Definitely check out Eve. Real good project she dropped last week. Stay tuned with. Definitely check that one out. Every Friday on our Instagram page, Section.300, I post our 5 for You Fridays where I post all the new music every week, all the drops, all the big drops. I think you should check out. And that was the big one from last week. So definitely check that one out. Now flipping sides, going to Kanye, you talked about. I don't know if he's for real about this time because it's like a year to the day that he announced Yandhi. But Kim posted a picture of a track list that said, was it Jesus is King or God is King?
One of the two. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. But it looked like a track list. It said September 27th and supposedly the new Kanye album. Right. So that means that Yandhi is another album that got scrapped. Right. Of all the mix of Kanye albums that were announced and did not come to fruition. That's another one. And now we have to wait and see if this album comes out itself. So do you have any anticipation for it? Are you excited for it at all? How you feel about Kanye right now?
I think I told you this too. Like, I'm not like hyped for a Kanye album anymore. Like, after all of his Make America Great Again antics and his Slavery Was a Choice, and sound bites and all that, like, I wasn't really feeling him as much. And then I still tried to listen to Kids See Ghost and Ye, with the open mind, and the music wasn't even really hitting like that.
Right.
And I don't know if that's partially because of how I feel about it personally now, or if, I mean, the music I just truly didn't enjoy either. So I think maybe he's fallen off a little bit there too.
Right.
But nah, I'm not. I can honestly say I'm not like, oh shit, like Kanye album dropping. Like I gotta get that as soon as it comes out, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel you.
like I'll listen to it for sure. Like, because he's still a great producer. Like honestly, I was having this discussion with Matt too. I think I wouldn't mind if he just went to producing music and not making his own records anymore. So yeah, I mean, I'll get to it. I'll get to it for sure.
That was gonna be my point. I'm definitely, at least at one point, I was a big Kanye fan. There's no denying that.
Right.
In recent years, when he's gone to his MAGA things and that, I stopped checking heavy for him, and that was why I got kind of my disconnect to stop idolizing artists, because he was the one that was the top of the pedestal for me and came crashing down. So, like you, I wasn't big on all the 7-track album things that he was doing, though there were some good ones in there. I didn't like all the antics behind it. I didn't like all the stuff he was saying alongside it. I didn't like going forward beyond that with Ye and Kids See Ghosts and all that other stuff with it. Right. So I've been kind of off Kanye as well. But again, going to your point, his production, even on the bad albums, the production was good. So I think, and his pocket is that soul vibe. And that gospel vibe and soul vibe, they're hand in hand. So I think if this is actually a gospelish type album, I think it can be good. It'd be interesting because
it could sound great. I don't know what he's going to talk about necessarily.
I just feel weird about, like, if it was Kanye production with someone else doing the music, like you said, I think I'd be okay with it. But it's Kanye production with Kanye bars, possibly. I'm scared about that, because we talked a while ago when he did his Coachella set about him running back to the church and trying to use that to get back in our good graces.
In the good graces, yep.
And if he's doubling down on that with this album, even if the music is good, I'm gonna feel a way about that, because knowing his last few years, his antics the last few years, the flip flop, and for him to go try to play both sides, that does not play well with me. So excuse me. Hopefully we do get a good project, but if he's going all in on the gospel stuff, even if it is good, it's going to raise some eyebrows for me. So we shall see. Someone that wants to come onto the show, someone that I talked about that we definitely want to have on and talk to him about. My friend Mia, who got drafted by the Utah Jazz, who got picked up by the Utah Jazz this year, is a big Kanye fan. He said if that album drops, he wants to come on.
Okay.
My thing though is, knowing Kanye's antics, even if he doesn't drop, Mia, if you listen to this, I still want your ass on the show. Because check this out. If it goes back-to-back years, announcing this grandiose album, and then goes back-to-back and not dropping it, you getting these bars, bro. Like we gonna talk to you about that shit. I know. Definitely. So for all the Kanye supporters that's still out there, we gonna have something to say if he flops for a second year in a row. So hopefully we can talk to Mia about that, amongst other things, and looking forward to that as well. And with that, where else you want to go from there? We've crossed off everything else on my list, so I'm good.
I'll just ask about, like, music-wise, if what you were listening to, like, of the drops this weekend or last weekend kind of thing. You talked about Rapsody. I don't think we talked about Little Brother, but that was a great album.
Definitely a real good album. We definitely enjoyed that. Peter, I will say, the Little Brother brought their skits back again. They were gone for 9-10 years, but finally came back with this new album, and they brought their skits back as they did on their past albums, and definitely enjoyed them. But I will say, Peter Rosenberg's first.
I told you all in the group.
I was like, but I got you. But yeah, I was like, yeah, man, I caught me off guard for a second, but we got back to it, and I enjoyed it. So that's definitely one of the better drops in the last few weeks. Also, just this week, Sir for TDE, who I mentioned a couple episodes ago, just joined forces with RCA as well. Dropped another album following the one he dropped last year, and he did it again, man. I really enjoy this Sir Chasing Summers album that he just dropped. Last year,
I haven't heard it yet.
I'm blanking on the name of the last project, but the last year he dropped November. I believe it was November.
Yeah,
I believe that was actually the name of it as well. That was one of the better R&B albums of last year. And he did it again with this one. He might even topped it. Like, I really enjoyed this new project that he just dropped. A lot of good features on there and things, a lot of good music. Definitely check that one out. TDE. If this is the start of the TDE, everybody dropping, they're off to a great start because Sir set it off just right. So I'm really enjoying this album. Gonna stick around with that for a while. Her, the artist,
right,
dropped her. I don't know if this is her debut album or no. Actually, it's her second one because she dropped one a year or two ago. But her album, I used to know her. She just dropped that one, and she's already kind of. It was weird with this album because she's already done a couple projects where she did. I used to know her part 1 or something like that, and then part 2, a couple EPs. She just combined them and then added a couple more songs to it, and then said this is the album. So a lot of these songs are songs for the her fans that you might have heard already, but even with that, they're all still good, and you're definitely going to enjoy them. So if you're a big fan of her, she has a new album out that you'll definitely enjoy. And then lastly, someone that surprised me but shouldn't have surprised me was Common.
Okay,
a new album called Let Love.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and
he surprised me because I didn't think. For some reason, I didn't think he could drop music like that now. For some reason, I just felt like he might have been a little past his prime and things like that. But
I've seen too many of the IBM commercials, and I think
that's what it is. I've watched Just Right too many times. I've seen him in too many movies.
Why are you watching Just Right?
They still out on BET and shit every day.
You've been on me for Uncle Drew. Just Right is.
Don't disrespect Queen Latifah. That's what we're not about to do. See, there's a difference. Queen Latifah versus Kyrie Irving. Let's stop it. Stop it. There's levels.
I'm not with the Common as an actor thing. I don't know.
Either way, I'm saying I've been seeing too much of that to not forget that he was a great rapper, but to think that he could go back and make music like he just did. And this Let Love album definitely shocked me. Definitely a really good project. So if you're a fan of Common, you definitely don't want to miss this one because it's a real good one. So definitely enjoyed that. Definitely enjoyed all the drops this week. A lot of good stuff. Again, check the list that I put on our Instagram and all of that. And yeah, that's really all I have this week for music.
Another one too from last week was the St. John album.
Oh, you wanted to bring it up again?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one for sure.
He's next up, bro. I think he's next up.
Because in what lane?
In that, I don't want to say Travis lane, but he reminds me a lot of Travis for some reason. Maybe it's the kind of auto-tune thing that he does.
More of a singer than Travis.
Definitely more of a singer, but him definitely having his own sound, even amongst all the people that kind of have his sound. He still stands out a lot to me. It sounds like a cleaner version of what everyone else is trying to do. In the same way that I feel like that we've talked about how people use Travis Scott for their feature where they need somebody to get a hit real quick. Right. I feel like very soon St. John's going to be another one of those guys where I need some kind of R&B vibe. I need someone that's going to do high in the club. Let me go get Saint real quick, and he's going to get the job done. So I think Saint is going to be a superstar very soon. He has really good projects across the board. Definitely has superstar persona if anybody that follows him online. And I think that he continues to deliver with the music. And this last album, the Gail Lenny's Love Songs, is a real good project that's going to help step him up and to the fans. So definitely check him out.
Yeah, it was a great one. And I still got so much fun in heavy rotation. So Young Thug is definitely growing over the years.
Hey, I want to applaud you for that because that kind of surprises me. I didn't think you were big on the trap vibe like that. So
I wasn't.
I'm glad to hear
that. On me. The last couple of years, I loved his. I think it was On the Run EP. After that, I kind of went a little bit back to some of his old stuff, and then this new album has been heavy rotation for me. So,
hey, like we said before, shout out Nav, shout out Juice WRLD, all the boys on there. They surprised.
Shout out to Brown.
All of them, all of that, honestly. So, yeah, a lot of great music out now. For those that have been following us for a long while, at the beginning of the year, while there were great drops, we were still waiting for the big names, and we're starting to get the names that are dropping. So I'm excited for this last quarter of the year. Excited for everybody that's still on the way. Definitely enjoying what we have, and yeah, we're in a great spot. This is the best time of the year for me. The weather starts to cool down. I'm tired of this heat. Y'all see me wiping my face all the time. This heat is something else.
It's still hot as hell in Tucson right now.
I'm ready for it to cool down. I'm ready for that R&B. I'm ready for the big names. I'm ready for basketball, football, all that stuff. And this time of the year is when it starts popping off. So things about to get real good.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's what I want. That's something I forgot. I wanted to mention earlier.
Okay.
I noticed that prior to this, during these dog days of summer, people were struggling for headlines, bro.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that with that.
We were seeing a whole lot of bullshit.
Kobe Shaq beef.
That Kobe Shaq, yeah, bro. Like everything recently has been a whole mess.
Yeah,
people struggling for headlines, anything to get some kind of click. That's went real bad. Dudes at Fox saying Cap's not black enough to lead the movement. People saying Shaq and Kobe are beefing again. All kinds of random stuff where you're taking stuff out of thin air and just making bullshit. And it's just y'all are a mess right now. But we here for the premium content. We're gonna talk about what needs to be addressed, what's really going on for others that may miss it. So check us out. Listen to the podcast. Check us out now on YouTube. Our first video episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, I'm your host, G-Thomas7. You see me here, or I'm gonna learn how to do it, but I'm on the screen somewhere. My boy Alec, I don't know the point. Alec.
Yep. There it is.
There you go. Got my boy Alec here as well. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Definitely excited for the possibilities with the videos and things now. So keep tuning in. Section.300 is the place where real fans talk real life, and we here to address all the great content and sports, music, and all of that going on in the culture right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. Find us on Instagram at Section.300. Find us on Twitter at Section300pod. Again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. And yeah, this is gonna be fun, man. I'm excited for what we have in store with this one. So appreciate y'all. Shout out. Our first video shout out. Let me shout out. Usually, for those that may not know, I kind of wild out with the shout outs. I say some kind of fuck shit. This episode, I'm gonna shout out Coco Gauff. I'm gonna shout out Naomi Osaka. They're playing right now in the U.S. Open, I believe. Real good match going on. So I'm gonna shout them out this week, and then we'll get back to the recklessness next week. So
I
what you got?
It. I always appreciate the wholesome shout out.
Mm-hmm. You got one?
I don't think so. Not this week.
Keeping it safe. Nice. No side piece you want to say hello to? Nothing?
Don't disrespect my girl like that, bro. Come on now.
Which one? We out of here. All right. We go. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Episode 36. We about this thing. Peace.
Dude. So sick of this nigga.